Yo, what's poppin'? Welcome to Bhroman Braapsody, and today we're back with my sensei at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad with my bike for a change. And in today's episode, we are with the sensei. How you doing?
Doing great. How you, bro, man?
I'm living the dream. You know me.
Absolutely. You're awake.
And what I've done is I let him have my bike for a few days. He's been working some wizardry with the bike, and he said, just leave it with me and you'll love it when you get it back. So in today's episode, we're gonna talk about that thing.
Absolutely.
Whatever he's done, I have no clue. But he said, I'm gonna love it. And after we're done talking, I'm gonna take it out on the road and share my thoughts with you guys, what I think about it. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere. It's me, it's your boy Bro, and I am your Bro Man.
Your Roadmaster already had the very potent 116 cubic inch Thunderstroke engine in it. So some baseline things that have been done. Of course, there is a set of performance slip-ons that have been added. You've got your high flow filter. So we got more air in, more air out. Also working in the exhaust system, the cats have been deleted. Okay, now performance-wise, these bikes typically like some back pressure. A cat delete out of the stock head pipes, not a bad idea. That tends to play very friendly with the bike. You certainly can do true dual headers. Sometimes that may be a little too much. Okay, the big benefit of the cat delete is reducing some temperature on your leg. Okay, so that's a critical thing. And then, of course, a set of Stage 2 Indian Performance cams.
Yes.
So these are all excellent baseline performance goodies, right? So the bike's going to pull stronger through the entire RPM range. It's going to sound a lot more aggressive, all right? But that's not where we want to stop. So, right. So to take it up one more notch, what's been added to your bike is a Lloyd's Performance Custom Tune.
Oh, wow.
Yep, we're now a remote tuning center for Lloyd's.
Okay.
And we've really enjoyed working with those guys. They've done everything they promised. They've been very supportive. Lloyd's has really got a great reputation in the Indian community. We got a lot of great feedback for them, so we reached out and said, hey, can we get involved? And they said, absolutely. So,
nice.
Yes, so the way that this is done for your bike is, it is done utilizing a Power Vision 3. All the specifics that have been already done to your bike were sent down to Lloyd's. We also collected data from the bike, which was sent down, and those guys down there, they're a group of wizards, put together a custom tune specifically for your bike. We then went and made sure that was dialed in. It took several test rides, getting the information down to them, bringing it back up, making sure everything was just dead perfect. And so now really what you have is a amazingly high performance bagger in the first place, straight out of the box. Then you've already had excellent baseline mechanicals added to it, and now on top of that, with the custom tune, you're maximizing it.
I am super excited because I just heard them pull this around and it sounded like a muscle car.
Oh, it's a beast. Let me tell you, it's a beast. I have no doubt that you could certainly ride wheelies on this if you wanted to. I mean, probably all the way through third gear. And of course, one thing, especially with custom tunes, that folks want to say is, well, how much power is it making? How much power is it making? And those are great questions. And of course, without putting it on a dyno and actually doing a dyno pull where you're getting readouts, it's hard to say specifically. But when you do performance upgrades like you've done, whether it be just with cams and the breather and the performance pipes, or whether you take it to this next level like you've done with a performance custom tune, ultimately what you're hoping for, and I have no doubt that this bike will set the mark, is that numbers that the factory releases for power, for torque and horsepower, which are at the crank. A great goal is to see what can be done to get those numbers now at the rear wheel. Okay, and I have no doubt that this bike is at that and has probably eclipsed that. So, and furthermore, it's not just about peak power, it's about what do you do with the power and where do you do it. I think you'll find that with this bike, it's amazing from the factory, and now with the custom tune on it, I think that you're going to find that it's pulling stronger through the entire RPM range. I think that you're going to find that you're maximizing your investment that you already had with your Indian Stage 2 cams, which by the way are excellent cams. You know, there are some more, even more aggressive cams on the market, but don't sell those factory Stage 2 cams short. They are fantastic. They're silky smooth. They have a great sound to them, and they do have a nice performance pop. top. And then when you put that custom tune on top of it, it's a really nice formula.
Stage 2 kit is basically cams, bigger fuel injectors.
Yep.
And the up maps, right?
Correct.
Or something like that.
Yep, and you want to already have done some things with your fuel air ratio in terms of the air, getting a little more air in, usually with a breather kit, and usually open up a little bit, at least with some performance slip-ons.
So then that's the way it works. You get the stage 1, which is the breather and the slip-ons, and then stage 2 is you build upon that with cams, fuel injectors, up maps.
That's right. And in the day, you know, when the Thunderstroke only came in the 111 variety, the stage 3 would be upgrading it to a 116. Well, your bike was already a 116 from the factory. So really what you've done is developed your own or our own version of a stage 3 for this bike. I might even call this 3++.
3++.
Absolutely.
Right.
And especially considering the fact that your bike you can still put it in your touring mode, or you can drop it over in sport mode.
And have some stupid fun with it.
Have a lot of fun with it. And the thing about it is, I think that you'll find off the line, it's going to put a lot of grins on your face. Of course, when we talk about top end power, you know, we're not talking about that because we want someone to take their bike out and run it down the highway at 125 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But you tour. We know that from your exciting adventure all the way across the country. Well, you don't tour on flat land.
Yeah.
And you don't tour with no gear. So when you're going up an incline and you're really under load, you want to be sure you got that power through the entire range.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. It just makes touring that much better. And you never know what you're going to encounter on roads you've not been on before. And sometimes even if you're going up an incline, having a little bit more power behind the throttle
is never a bad thing.
It's never a bad thing. It's an option.
Yeah. Thank you so much for doing all of this. And this is Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad. They not only sell Indian motorcycles and Polaris slingshots, but they also do a lot of work on the motorcycles. They're a gold certified dealership service center. He's a gold certified technician himself, the owner.
Right.
How often do you see that?
Well, we hope I'm not going to be back messing with a wrench on your bike. But
did you?
Hey, did you? Well, only when we took the valves out. Just kidding.
Did you put them back in?
Most of them.
Most of them. Okay. And the people here are really awesome and amazing and friendly. And now they're also a remote tuning facility for Lloyd's.
Yeah. And again, I can't say how much we appreciate those guys letting us come on board. They've been excellent. Great support system. Done everything they promised, and we're excited about that relationship, especially since we're neighbors with them. You know, we're only a couple hours apart, so that was really said a lot about them, that they were willing to partner with us. And again, there's a lot of great tuners out there, but the reason we wanted to be involved and have Lloyd's remote tunes as an option here in this dealership is they've worked hard to develop a strong really relationship and reputation in the Indian motorcycle community. And so we felt like that fit in with exactly what we're trying to do here.
I'll put their website link in the video description below. Come on down, check them out. And when they come here, who should they send them to you?
Well, I think the best thing they can do is tell them that they were sent by the one and only, the Bhroman!
We've been talking for a long time.
We have.
Do you happen to know what time it is?
Let me double check, but according to what this says, I think it might be right o'clock.
It's right o'clock. Let's go. Thank you.
This is the gorgeous 2022 Indian Roadmaster Dark Horse. If you like what we do, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. We put out content every week, and your support would mean a lot. Anywho, without further ado, let's start her up and hear what she sounds like. Oh yeah. I like it. I like it. I like it. We're gonna start off on tour mode, and then we'll put it in sport mode for a bit, see how it does, right? Let me turn on my heated grips as well. Yeah. Alright, so let's go. I started off with the 116 stock Thunderstroke engine. I got the stage 1 and the stage 2 kits, and then finally the Lloyd's tune. I can definitely tell you one thing, it sounds so much better. I think it sounds super nice and very throaty. The neighbors might not like you a lot, but Hey, there's that. I've had this bike for a little over 2 years now, and what, 13,000 odd miles. I freaking love this bike. I freaking love this bike. It's big, and yeah, it's a big bike, it's a heavy bike, all of that stuff, but you know, it actually handles a lot better than what something of this size and dimension should, in my opinion. So yeah, that's a big win. But yeah, see, in regular touring mode, I'm doing city speeds between 45 and 50 miles an hour. I'm in third gear. I can hear what I hear is this loud and strong thump of the exhaust and the engine, and that's a subjective thing, but to me, I love that thing. I love that sound it makes, because I don't know, I always like my cars and motorcycles to be loud. It's not obnoxious, not in my opinion, but it's nice and loud, but it's got a nice throaty growl to it, which I really dig. And it feels very smooth. See, I didn't even have to downshift, I'm still in third, and it's just going along its business like it's not a problem at all. Yes, sir. Love that sound. Ooh, an overpass. I love going on these overpasses. It gives you a nice tunnel effect of sorts for the sound. Yes, I'm a child. For those of you who didn't know, yes, I is a child. It's a beautiful crisp day. Temps in the 50. It's exactly 50. It's a 50-degree Fahrenheit, not Celsius, you guys. Fahrenheit. Yeah, nice chill day. Ooh, while I'm waiting, let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in sport mode, because why not? My butt. Off we go. So sport mode is where it's at. Holy moly. Holy moly. Oh wow. Yeah. Sport mode is the fun mode, has always been the fun mode, but now even so much better. So the biggest thing I've noticed is that yes, it's got a lot of kick now, a lot more kick. Not that it didn't have a good kick before, but now it's got even more kick to it, and it likes to rev much faster. It revs a lot faster than it used to do in its stock form. And sport mode, heck yeah, that's where the fun's at. That's where all of the fun's at. Yeah, it's definitely not a sports bike. It's still a 950-pound touring machine that can now hustle a little bit. And that sound. Holy moly. Holy moly. This thing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. In sport mode. Anywho, I don't want to get into trouble, so I'm gonna change it to standard mode. Yeah. As soon as you hit standard mode and it activates, you kind of feel everything quieten down a little bit. The bike's like, okay, I'm gonna behave myself. Whereas in sport mode, you give it a little gas and it's like, whoop, let's go. Here it's like, nah, we don't need to do all of that. We are just supposed to be chilling. So let's chill, bro. So why did I go for this? I mean, it's not that this bike was lacking power anyways after the stage 1 and the stage 2 kit upgrades. And that's not to say that the stock bike lacks power at all, but it's just a personal thing, you know, subjective things. I like my bikes to have some punchiness, if that's a word. They have some punchiness. I like the sound and the theatrics of a motorcycle, and yeah, and you know, I do a fair amount of highway riding from time to time, and what you want to do is to be able to pass traffic, slow traffic, or get out of trouble really quick. And so to do that, there's only two ways. You either increase your power or reduce the weight. So reducing a weight on this would mean, you know, you remove the fairings, the saddlebags and all that good stuff, or you increase power. If you remove the saddlebags and all of that, yeah, it'll look cool, but it kind of defeats the purpose. Plus, if you remove the tank, if you remove the tour pack from this motorcycle, it also disconnects the two speakers in the back. This motorcycle does get hot, especially in slow traffic or when you're in stop and go traffic. It's an air-cooled engine, so on hotter days, your legs start to like really feel the heat of all the heat that's coming out of the engine. The easiest solution for that is to get a gutted pipe, which I ended up getting. And while I was getting the gutted pipe, I was like, hey, why not throw a tune in it? Because, you know, I said this bike would like to behave in standard mode. Let's see, I'm doing 60 in standard mode, 4th gear, and if I give it gas, it'll still hustle. And that was in standard mode. That's what I'm saying, like, just to put things in perspective, that was just in standard mode. And that's why you get a tune. I mean, at the end of the day, motorcycles are just, you know, projections of yourself, or an element or a figment of your own creativity and what it means to you, of what this motorcycle means to you. It's you'd like to personalize it and modify it, however it makes sense to you and what you love about that bike or what you want that bike to do. And to me, this makes perfect sense. This is what I wanted to do, and I think the folks at Indian Motorcycle Greensboro Triad just knocked this out of the park, if you ask me. Okay, so what do? Oh, a McLaren! Yeah, boy. Anywho, so in conclusion, before we got distracted by the McLaren, I got after having gotten all these tunes put on it, the Lloyd tune, after I got the Lloyd tune, and that in conjunction with the stage 1 and stage 2 upgrades that this bike already had, and the gutted pipe, it makes the bike sound so much better. There's definitely a noticeable increase in not just the power, the horsepower or the torque, but the responsiveness of the throttle in any mode. The sport mode is by far the most responsive and the most fun mode that you have on this bike, and with this tune it's still the most fun mode to ride on. But the standard and touring modes have more punch and more kick to them too. Oh, and as for the gutted pipes, yes, they have cut out a lot of the heat issues that I was talking to you guys about, or a lot of the heat that was coming out of the engine. So there you go, guys. My bike all my upgrades. Thanks for watching, you guys. Keep your knees in the breeze, and I'll see you soon. Bro out.